Hey YouTubers, it's Charlie. This is going to be my Arrow episode 21 video. Lots of comic book stuff that we have to work through, including the person that might end up being the season 4 villain. It's just that the big rumor that was going around a couple months ago was that the finale would tee up who the season 4 villain's going to be, and they basically called him out in this episode. So careful for spoilers if you haven't seen 21 yet. Starting with top 5 moments. Number 5, meet Damien Darhk, probably going to be the Arrow season 4 villain. So as Ra's al Ghul is slowly brainwashing and training Oliver, using the fear toxin from Batman Begins no less, he explains that Damien Darhk was a person who joined the League the same time he did, but ended up hopping on the crazy train and created a splinter organization to carry on the League's work as he saw it. Ra's tasks Oliver with taking Damien down. This is just the beginning. Damien Darhk is actually a character from the Teen Titans comics. I know everyone always asks about the Titan show that's happening on TNT. They've actually changed the name of that show. It's not called Titans anymore, but I'll talk about that in another video. Damien debuted in Titans #1 in 1999. He really only existed inside that arc. It was like a 12-issue arc, so in issue number 12, he ended up being killed by Vandal Savage. He hasn't appeared in the New 52 comics, but he's a big Hive character, and he gets tied up with Slade Wilson's wife. Her name is Adeline Kane, so if they're going to be doing Damien Darhk Hive in Season 4, it'd be an easy way to bring Deathstroke back on the show. And they said they can do that. Even though the Suicide Squad movie might be doing Deathstroke, they can still do him on the show. They can still bring Manu Bennett. So they tie Damien Darhk to all these past events on the show, like trying to buy the prototype of Merlin's earthquake machine, killing Diggle's brother. They'll continue to do that, and what I'm hoping that they do is that they tie him to Felicity. He ends up being Felicity's father. In the comics, Damien's known for his baby face. I don't know how the show's going to address this, because supposedly only Ra's al Ghul has access to Lazarus Pits. So we might see the same kind of thing going on with Damien. He might just be like a really old person in a young person's body. Moving on to number 4, Oliver, League of Assassins training montage. I really like the way they shot the opening scene, just like cutting over the course of a couple weeks. Oliver slowly gets brainwashed with the fear toxin and gets really badass with swords. They're not only brainwashing him, they're also training him to fight. Even though Team Arrow seemed like they'd almost given up on him by the end of the episode, there is no programming that cannot be broken somehow. Something is going to happen to redeem him at a certain point. Whether or not they carried into Season 4, we have no idea. I always like how they try to trip you up with like an opening moment WTF, like him stabbing Diggle, but then, then it turns out it's someone else. Great way to start an episode, make everyone poop their pants. On to number 3, Laurel and Nyssa are milkshake gal pals. I really like the way they developed a friendship between those two characters. Nyssa is such an awesome character, so I'm just happy to have her on the show. I think it's a good way to humanize her and give Laurel a really nice arc that has absolutely nothing to do with the rest of Team Arrow. Like they can just have their own scenes off on their own. Mostly Nyssa trying to train her the same way she trained Sarah. That's going to take a long time, but now that she has the canary cry, I think she'll learn to use that too, and it'll help close some of that distance. It's this really interesting dichotomy they had between Oliver and Nyssa, whereby she slowly gains her humanity and Oliver's like losing his at the same time. It's too bad they captured her at the end of the episode because I was kind of hoping that she'd join Team Arrow, like the new Team Arrow, for a little while. I definitely have to give Laurel props though for being the voice of reason. It's like everybody is losing their shit except for Laurel. She's kind of like the moral conscience of Team Arrow right now. Moving on to number 2 though, Oliver kidnaps Laurel and threatens her life. I don't think we were ever in any danger of Oliver killing Lila, but it's still really heartbreaking to see him go up against his Arrow bro, Diggle. Lila had that really nice speech about how joining Team Arrow helped humanize Diggle. Like after the war, he was suffering from post-traumatic stress, but Oliver helped give him a purpose. It seems like it's all falling on deaf ears right now, but I think at a certain point, something will happen to shock Oliver back to consciousness. And if you're wondering, all those Team Arrow scenes where they were meeting, that was inside Ray Palmer's lab. That's going to be like the temporary Arrow cave. You can call it the Atom Cave if you want. Eventually, Ray will step in and help out, but he wasn't really necessary for this episode. It was mostly about classic OG Team Arrow versus Oliver. And of course, my number 1 WTF moment, Ra's al Ghul tells Nyssa that she is now the bride of the demon and asks Oliver to unleash the Omega on Starling. You can kind of see how we're drifting into Christopher Nolan Batman territory here. Destroy the city, wipe it clean. I like how he just casually dropped that the previous Ra's al Ghul, his predecessor, wiped out Alexandria like a biblical plague. There was kind of a Bible moment where he asked Oliver to kill Nyssa. It was like when God asked Abraham to kill his son Isaac. And then when he went in to do it, God stopped Abraham and said, nope, this was just a test, and you passed. Bride of the Demon, though, all I could think about was like the Bride of Frankenstein's scream when Elsa Lanchester just screams out loud with the crazy hair. Mark Guggenheim did tease that there would be another wedding on Arrow this season that wasn't Diggle's. I think we'll see some kind of ceremony. Don't expect it to actually go down. I don't think they'll make it to the vows. Hopefully it'll actually go down in next week's episode. That's what I'm looking forward to. It's like next week we deal with the wedding stuff, then the week after that we deal with the Omega Starling stuff. That really only just scratches the surface of the episode, but here's my big question for you guys. How do you think the Team Arrow is going to help Oliver shake his programming? Whatever they end up doing, it's going to be something that they have to do together. Like it'll be all of them together in the same moment. If you remember in the mid-season finale, when Oliver died, all those images flashed through his brain. I wonder if the same type of thing is going to happen. Like, what if he ended up dying and they dump him in the Lazarus pit and he comes out changed? That'd be pretty crazy. Remember, this last scene in this episode, they were standing in front of the Lazarus pit. So I feel like the Lazarus pit is going to continue to be a big plot point before season 4. Somebody else needs to get dumped in there. Speaking of the Lazarus pit, let's talk about Thea for a second. So Felicity tells her that Roy's still alive, so obviously she's going to track him down. We saw him in the promo for the next episode. Don't really know if Roy's going to be in the finale, but he's probably going to help her on her road to becoming a superhero. She's slowly moving towards the Mia Dearden Speedy. She's not going to change her name or anything, and I don't know exactly what her final costume will look like, but she was wearing a hood in this episode, so she's like halfway there. She'll probably just get a mask like they all wear. Which also actually brings up the idea of a Diggle costume. Don't say the word costume. Felicity just teased that he should start using some more identity concealment if he's going to be hitting the streets more often. I know everybody wants to see Diggle get a costume, but he's not going to get a costume. It'll just be like slightly more secure gear. I will say my only minor complaint about the episode was the plot point about the Alpha the Omega with the flashbacks. It's been like such a huge thing all season long with the flashbacks, but they just now tied it back to present day. I think the flashbacks work a little bit better when, scene to scene, flashback to present day within each episode sync up more. The flashbacks this season have felt a little uneven. As you can see, the shit hitting the fan on both Flash and Arrow. Grodd is coming to The Flash next week, so be sure to subscribe to get that video. A lot of you requested a Speedy bonus video, so I'll try to get that out as soon as possible. Maybe next week or at least the week after. While you guys wait for all that stuff, in case you haven't seen it, I just posted an Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Avengers crossover video. You can click here to watch it, and you can click here for this week's episode of The Flash. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Let's high five. I'll see you guys tomorrow.